food production initiative.
The pump price is worrisome, but that is the last option.
NTA interrogates rationale for choices made by Nigerians on priority areas for 2024. Also tonight, we have an update on 7 trafficked children rescued and returned to Bauchi State.
This state has shown that it is a center of the sin.
Hello, welcome to NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stover in Abuja, and Hingino John Adams will be joining us later from Lagos. Just so you remember that you can watch this broadcast live, website nta.ng/live, and also on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. President Bola Tinubu has approved the extension of the free train service for the Yuletide to Sunday, January 7, 2024, to allow more Nigerians who are yet to return to their stations enjoy the benefit. The federal government had earlier announced a free train service on all serviced routes and 50% rebate on road transportation from December 21st, 2023 to January 4th, 2024 on specific routes to reduce the burden of high cost of public transportation during the just concluded Christmas and New Year holidays. While over 160,000 Nigerians are said to have benefited from the first leg of the initiative, President Tinubu has directed that the free train service be made available for extra 3 days to allow more Nigerians to take advantage of the initiative. The extension applies to all 3 routes currently being serviced by the Nigerian Railway Corporation, which are Lagos, Ibadan, Warri, Itakpe, and Abuja, Kaduna. The federal government appears to have demonstrated commitment to expanding agriculture in Nigeria following an agreement to partner with Gombe, Jigawa, and Niger states in pursuit of its various food security programs. President Bola Tinubu earlier today met with the governors of the 3 states to discuss the planned partnership on agriculture. State House correspondent Musbah Wahab has more.
Pure constant food supply.
Food security is one of the priority areas focused on in the Renewed Hope agenda. The government of the day gave first expression to that with the declaration of state of emergency on the sector. And the first manifestation was the National Wheat Development Program.
We launched the dry season farming with 120,000 of land in Jigawa.
Out of the 120,000 hectares of land intended for wheat production, Jigawa State was allotted 20,000, a further confirmation of the state's status as a leading producer of wheat in the country. Apparently keeping tabs on the program, President Tinubu received Governor Umar Namadi of Jigawa State, who confirmed that the program has taken off with the right momentum in his state.
With the extension services we have provided, and with all the support we have provided for, especially for land clearing, especially for harrowing, that we have supported the farmers, that has given them an opportunity to cultivate more. Somebody who was doing 1 hectare now is ready to do hectares because of the support he has from the federal government and from the support he has from the state government. And that will, if you multiply that, 40,000 hectares, that the official one we are doing, plus the other ones, which is more than about 10,000 hectares. And if you take just a minimum of 4 tons per hectare, which is the minimum, you can have, some people are making up to 6-7 tons per hectare, but we are taking only the minimum. So definitely, I think the future is very bright for us.
The federal government is targeting more than 1.2 tons of wheat production per annum, and the governor says his state is also thinking ahead along with the federal government.
Over time, we will definitely export wheat. We are doing the first one, and then after this one, we are going for rice, and the next one we are going for wheat. That's how the cycle will continue to go, and that will definitely, we're going to have food sufficiency, and we'll definitely have surplus to export.
President Tinubu also received Governor Muhammad Inuwa Yahya of Gombe State, one of the states designated for agro-processing zones by the federal government.
We've set up an industrial park where we can process all the raw materials, all the agri-produce that we have in the state. I think if all states will key in and work in tandem with the federal government, we shall easily reach the destination.
Governor Mohammed Bago of Niger State was also on a similar visit to the president.
You will have seen the emphasis on agriculture and also the 500,000 hectares the government is planning to farm this 2024. And Niger State has already provided itself as a pilot state for that project, and that we are also ambitious to also match with the federal government 500 for 500.
The federal government has designed various programs to reduce food inflation, increase production, promote self-sufficiency, as well as stimulate economic growth. From the State House, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
Well, it does appear like the president is taking off in good strides in the new year, even as many across the country anticipate the realization of the administration's broad-based economic programs. NTA State House correspondent Musbah and Wahab joins us live tonight. Musbah, good to see you. Well, the president's 1st of January broadcast is still generating reactions nationwide, and most Nigerians are deeply interested in how the Tinubu administration intends to push the top priority agenda it has set for the year. Now, are there indications at the State House of how much public support the president is getting so far, especially from the public sector and the sub-nationals? How do you gauge the support?
Well, Siri, I think that question is the right one for the moment. And the report we just saw a moment ago is also spoke to the way and manner with which the president wants to begin the year. You remember he said in his January 1st address that he has laid a foundation, and now is the time to build on those foundations the government has laid. And with the meetings we saw today, it lends credence to what the president said, that now starting with agriculture is a basic way, a fundamental way to start. And, you know, one of the areas that he played up in his manifesto that's translated to the agenda for the Renewed Hope government is food security. And now he has started on that note a meeting with some governors in the leading agricultural states, talking about Niger State, you know, the landmass we have there, Jigawa, as well as Gombe State. These are very key states as far as agriculture is concerned. So that has indicated where he wants to start. And now talking about the support is getting serious, we can see how the public officials, particularly governors and even private sector heads, have been coming to support the federal government, visiting the president, showing that we have seen the genuineness in your commitment to developing various areas of the economy, and we're ready to support the governor scheme. And we also saw that these governors are not only from the president's party, which is APC. We've seen governors from other parties. We saw Governor Peter Uba of Enugu State and Governor Alex Oti of Abia State. So remember, Governor Uba is from the People's Democratic Party, while Governor Oti is on the platform of the Labour Party. This speaks volumes.
Right, Musbah, it's still quite early in the year, but I wonder how the State House is looking these days in terms of the inflow of visitors. You get a sense of feeling that you're still on holiday? Does it seem like you're still on holiday, although the president definitely isn't?
Well, when you talk of civil servants, some of them may be on holiday as we speak. You know, usually most of them plan their annual break towards the end of the year, which will actually affect how activities will pick up in January, which is the succeeding month. But for the president, I can tell you that there's nothing like holiday yet for the president. We saw how he came back from Lagos State from his break on January 1st, then straight up to his office to sign the budget for the year. And even the president said it, that for him as a politician and president of a country, there's nothing like holiday. He's ready. He has signed up for this assignment. He campaigned for it and is ready to deliver on the...
All right. Okay, thank you so much, Musbaud Anwahab, reporting from the State House, live for us. Thank you. Well, days after the president reiterated commitment to key national objectives, Nigerians are still reflecting on some of the promises made and how quickly the gains would permeate society. While shared economic prosperity tops government's priority list, most Nigerians are also making their own wish list, bordering sectors and areas they hope the federal government, as well as the states, should give more focus in 2024. Jonathan Omajali joins us from Lokoja, Kogi State, with an overview of what the people there are saying. Jonathan, thanks for being here tonight. What do the people there in Kogi State consider priority areas of focus for the federal and state governments, and why?
Yes, Siri, just like you said, there's still reflection on the speech of the president. And one of the things I want to say is the fact that several lines of that speech by the president actually resonate with the people. Of course, he talked about inflation. He mentioned the high cost of living and the burden Nigerians have to carry as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. That is more like talking directly to the people of Kogi State. Don't forget, a few weeks ago, the National Bureau of Statistics told us that there are 3 states in Nigeria, the most expensive states, Lagos, Rivers, and of course Kogi State. At the top of that unwanted list is Kogi State. And so when you talk about inflation, the high cost of living, and of course removal of fuel subsidy, the people of Kogi State will listen to what you have to say and what your plans are to ameliorate the pains that have come as a result of these problems. Earlier today, I spoke with several of them, and they shared some very interesting thoughts. Maybe we could just take a listen to what they had to say.
This issue of fuel, they should address it, because a lot of people are suffering in this nation.
The price of things are very high. But if the fuel has come down, I think things will be better. I think the price of things will come down too.
The government in power, there is no alternative they can do other than removing the fuel subsidy. The pump price is worrisome, but that is the last option. It is only the promises that government has made to cushion the effect of this pump price. They have not done it, but they are making promises. We just have to be patient with the administration, with the government of the day.
Specific area. Education, health, security.
Well, my expectation is very high from the government. We are hoping for tomorrow, a better tomorrow. At least everyone will smile.
Well, Jonathan, Kogi State is gearing up for political transition, with Governor-elect Ahmed Ududu set to take over on the 27th of this month, and that's some weeks from now. What's the ambience like politically with regards to the Yahaya Bello administration winding up? And is there any excitement there in Lokoja, at least, especially among supporters of the returning APC?
Yes, expectedly there is excitement amongst the supporters of the APC. Of course, several people who believe in the fact that we need continuity as someone who can build on the structure that has been laid by the outgoing governor. But generally speaking, I would describe what we have today as a subdued excitement. And that's because we are not just in a period of transition, we're also in a period of healing. We're in a period of reconciliation, considering all that has happened, all that happened in the course of the election. And so there is excitement, but people are also keeping it very low. And of course, don't forget, whenever a new man is coming in, there is this air of optimism that whoever is coming is going to bring something different on board. Of course, people are excited about that.
Okay.
But looking at all that has happened in the past, with the thoughts that people have shared, the inflation and all of that,
okay,
it is more like coming to the end of a long and difficult journey. So
all
people
right,
are
Jonathan
excited, but of
Omajali
course,
in Lokoja, thank you so very much. Thank you for being with us, Jonathan. Thank you. We thank you for being with us. Now, Nigerians say while President Bola Tinubu's New Year message to the country presents hope for a better country, what is, however, more important is an efficient implementation of these promises. Edidi Ongiba tells us more. Sorry about that mix-up there. But still, on public expectations from government this year and beyond, our correspondent in Enugu, Susan Eze, has been about town gauging where the people stand and what issues they consider most important for government's attention. Susan, well, if you're there, thanks for joining us tonight. Right, Susan, yeah, there you are. Well, I hear you have quite a story about how passionate the people there in Enugu are on the issues that affect them most and why they think government, whether at the state or federal level, should give more attention to the issues they identified. Now, what are these pressing issues?
Well, all right, thank you, Cyril. Yes, we've been going around town as journalists. We've been chatting with people. We've been discussing with people through interviews and chit-chats. And even sometimes when you walk through the street, they notice you as a journalist and they shout their minds to you. They tell you where it's paining them and they tell you, go and tell them. So what I have gleaned from these pockets of information is that the society is kind of divided into two sections. There are this set of people, the ordinary people, the artisans, the market women, the workers. This set of people do not really care about the dynamics of economics. For them, they just want what the government would do to bring down the price of petroleum products. That is where it pinches them most. They keep telling us, tell the government to bring down the price of petroleum products. They don't understand all the policies around subsidy removal or restatement of subsidy removal. They believe that if the price of petroleum products comes down, it will reflect other areas of economics and things will be easier for them, prices of goods and services. And then there's this other set of people, the elite, who are more deliberate in outlining what they expect from the government. For this group of people, they believe that government should look at areas away from oil, like agriculture, They believe that such areas will make things better. And enough from me, let me bring in some of the people we chatted with earlier in the day to give us insight into what they think the government should do, what their expectations are. I have here Barrister Tom Ogwo, a legal practitioner. Barrister Tom, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Please tell us, you're a Nigerian, and this is a new year. What are your expectations from this administration?
My expectation for this administration is security. Security, security, security. In our Constitution, Section 14, states that security and well-being of the people is the primary purpose of governance. In Nigeria today, our security is at the lowest ebb, and there's nothing you can do in a society without security. Therefore, I expect this government to vigorously fight the issue of insecurity in this country. It has ravaged our economy.
For you, it is security. Okay, I also bring in Divine Chikeloba, a youth leader. Divine, the president in his New Year's speech made some points, key areas this administration will work on. Do you agree with those key areas, or do you have other ideas?
I must really commend Mr. President. Those key areas are on point. But I want to make an emphasis on the job opportunity, the value chains on those areas. The value chains on those areas because whereby we look locally to source out the labors, and that's how we benefit Nigerians. So the value chains are important, creating job opportunities, policies that will help skills enterprises in Nigeria. And I believe Nigerians will be better when these policies reflect on them directly, not indirectly, and I believe things will get better. That's my one expectation on this agenda.
All right, thank you. So that is it, different folks for different folks. People have different ideas on what they expect from the government, and at long run, everybody expects a better 2024. That's the things expression from Enugu. Thank you. Back to Serial now.
Yeah, thank you very
Abuja.
much, Susan, in Enugu. Thank you. Right. Now, the Voice of Nigeria and the News Agency of Nigeria are set to collaborate on a multimedia system that utilizes online, on-demand platforms to disseminate factual information on the achievements of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Now, this came to the fore when the Director General of Voice of Nigeria, Jibrin Ndache, in company of the organization's management team, paid a courtesy call on the Managing Director of the News Agency of Nigeria, Ali Muhammad Ali, in his office in Abuja. The two chief executives equally pledged their resolve to work together in countering the narrative of fake news and misinformation through a well-structured approach that will deepen accurate, authentic, and truthful reportage on happenings in Nigeria.
With you, sir, to help in amplifying the positive of this administration, President Bola Tinubu, the renewed Hope agenda. We are lucky the Minister of Information too, and the National Orientation is also a media person who understands the importance of strategic communication and the need for us to consistently and continuously push positive narrative about our country to the world. And we have a responsibility to consistently do that.
We are determined in none to change the depressing narrative of the cup being half empty. We see that half full. So, new partnership, we welcome them. We have no alternative actually than to collaborate, to partner, so that we change this perception about Nigeria. We take the good news.
The visit is the first official meeting between the two chief executive officers since their appointments by President Bola Tinubu on the 19th of October 2023. Now let's head over to Kano, the center of commerce, where residents are said to have started the year 2024 with renewed vigor for business. Again, hopeful for a peaceful state, one with an improved atmosphere for business, startups, and other gainful commercial ventures. Our man on the ground there is Abdullahi Mustafa, and he joins us now with his overview of how Kano residents are processing and aligning their New Year targets with that of the government. Abdullahi, good to see you tonight. Take us through what residents of Kano are saying about their needs and how these gaps can be closed. Considering that government at the federal level and even that of Kano State have identified targets for 2024. Do these targets align with what the people say they most need?
Yes, thank you very much, Cyril. And of course, as you know, Kano people are known with business. They really have business. Their interest is mainly on how to improve the economy. So to help me answer this question, I've decided to have a mini town hall with some Kano residents who will, of course, tell us more about the issues that you've discussed. Obviously, young people are they have the highest population in this city, which is the most populous, of course. Randa, tell us, you've been together with various youth groups, you've been of course, a mentor. You've been mentoring youth. Tell us what they expect as we have entered 2024 with an approved budget at both national and sub-national levels.
Looking at how the country is going currently, Kano youths are anticipating a huge, educational and skillful initiative, especially looking at how much youth we have that are graduate and unemployed. Not just giving them employment, it's not all about employing all the youth. It's not all the youth that are going to be employed. But yet we have the skillful, the initiators, the one that have all the whole skill. Looking at how hard the country have taken people and drive them to, a lot of youth have developed skills to be on their own, to employ themselves. So we need government to support and incubate those skillful youth.
I have also pharmacist Maimuna. You've been in the health sector for decades. Tell us something about the health-wise. What should the people of Kano expect this year?
Health is wealth. And without healthy population, the economy is not going to be any relevant to our purpose. One, we need increased health activities at the community level. And we need improved infrastructure because there are decaying infrastructure that are not well maintained to take care of the health sector. We need equipments. We need staffing.
Okay, when you have time, tell us in a few seconds. You've been going around. You've been a journalist. You are now an editor.
Yes.
The generality of Kano people. Their interest is on business. What do you think the people are expecting from the federal and state governments?
One of the stumbling blocks that hindered the smooth running of business in Kano is the comatose power sector that we have. That led to the collapse of all the industrial areas in Kano, from Bombay to Sharada to Chalawa. Imagine one of Nigeria's contemporaries, that is Saudi Arabia. The two only mosques there are having 18,000 megawatts. As at 2022, Nigeria is having 22,000 megawatts. So what do you expect?
The time is...
So apart from that, the expectations are very high, and with the removal of policy subsidy, the economy is biting. So there are a lot of expectations, and that expectation is to fix the economy.
You've heard something from the people of Kano residents, what their expectations are as we enter 2024. So this is so far we can go. Thank you, and back to you, Cyril.
Right, thank you, Abdullahi Mustafa in Kano. We had some challenges there with the audio quality. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of new executive directors in 2 agencies under the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. At the Nigerian Ports Authority, NTA, the President appointed Vivian Richard Edet as Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Engineer Olalekan Badmus, Executive Director of Marine and Operations, and Engineer Ibrahim Abba Umar as Executive Director of Engineering and Technical Services. While at the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Jibril Abba was appointed as Executive Director of Maritime, Labour and Cabotage Services. Chudi Ofodele, Executive Director of Finance and Administration, while Engineer Fatai Adeyemi is now the Executive Director of Operations. The new appointees are expected to expeditiously and efficiently execute their collective mandate and create the conditions required to significantly raise the contribution of the marine and blue economy sector to the nation's GDP. All right, now we go over to Lagos and link up with Hingino John Adams for more news. Hingino.
Thank you, Cyril.
For the renewed hope agenda of the present administration to be achieved, political office holders must leave legacies of excellent service delivery. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, emphasized this at the inauguration of a 484-bed Femi Gbajabiamila Hall of Residence in the University of Lagos. Joel Pubola reports that 9 legacy projects of the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, which cut across salient areas of needs in Lagos State, were also inaugurated.
For the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, the University of Lagos was where his leadership prowess was developed, and prioritizing the institution in its legacy project is his way of giving back to the school. The Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Folashade Ogunshola, described the feat as timely. The inauguration of the 484-bed Femi Gbajabiamila Hall of Residence by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, will address the challenge of hostel deficit in the university.
The Tinubu-led government and the House of Representatives have prioritized resource allocation to education. Investing in quality education at all levels, from primary to tertiary institutions, is fundamental.
I urge the audience to, through our joint efforts, raise a generation in whose hearts the light of understanding is lit and cannot be put out, who possess both the zeal and the passion for defeating the tyranny of low expectations and making good the life of man here on earth. Part of that joint effort is ensuring that we provide a conducive environment for learning and collaboration.
In furtherance of the Chief of Staff to the President's passion for education, Surulere now has a campus of the National Open University of Nigeria.
Stay in your neighborhood, come in, study, and go back to continue with their normal business. And also, we want to call on the general public to please utilize the facilities that is being provided.
The campus is well equipped with ICT facilities and other gadgets to aid learning. The reconstructed Randall Avenue and the refurbished Bode Thomas Police Station, all in Surulere Federal Constituency, Femi Gbajabiamila says is to motivate the police to combat crime. The Femi Gbajabiamila Mini Stadium in Koka Aguda, many in the community believe will promote peaceful coexistence and channel the energy and talents of the youth towards productive ventures. In Lagos, Joel Pubola, NTA News.
10 lucky youths drawn from different African countries who participated in Future African Leaders Foundation 2023 have been rewarded grants of $10,000 each. Diana Ajali, who was at the foundation's media conference in Lagos, reports that a young farmer from Sierra Leone, Mariama Gendeme, who emerged star prize winner, went home with a total of $35,000 grant for her exceptional impact in her community.
Established as a Pan-African organization committed to identify, nurture, and empower young African leaders who are making positive impacts in their various communities. Future African Leaders Foundation has since inception recognized 123 recipients for demonstrating outstanding leadership roles in solving problems in their unique ways on the African continent. For the 2023 Star Prize winner, 23-year-old Executive Director of Fresh Virgins Agro Company Limited from Sierra Leone, the $35,000 grant received from Future African Leaders Foundation will enable her to do more in her humanitarian work.
The award is not just a mere recognition of what I do. It means so much to me and my fellow Sierra Leoneans. It means Fala is telling me, Marima, we see you. Yeah. Go to the world and do more.
Aimed at equipping young people with essential skills and resources to drive change, the African Future Leaders Awards, an initiative of the founder, Christ Embassy Church, Reverend Chris Oyakilome, has more than 77 million young individuals across 54 African nations benefiting from the Fala gesture.
And forever, I will appreciate Future African Leaders Foundation for inspiring more young people through ambassadors, through all the support that they are giving.
The man of God, Pastor Chris,
knows Africa can only develop Africans, and so he's using his the platform that God has given to him to encourage the young people.
Our focus is in the 7 major areas our foundation is about. We are looking at technology, we are looking at agriculture, we are looking at education. So far, a total of $1,340,000 US grants have been distributed to winners from 30 African countries, spanning 5 regions. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
That's it from here. Network News continues.
Time for business now with Benny Adams.
Welcome to business. Oil prices rose on Thursday, adding to solid gains in the previous session on persistent concerns over Middle Eastern supply following disruptions at the field in Libya and heightened tension around the Israel-Gaza war. Brent crude rose 38 cents to $78.63 a barrel, while the U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose 52 cents to $73.22. Both benchmarks rose by around 3% to settle higher for the first time in 5 days on Wednesday, with WTI seeing the biggest daily percentage gain since mid-November. On that note, let's see more prices of oil and other commodities in the global market. Nigerian stocks investors gained 264.29 billion naira as the all share index advanced by 0.62%. Nigerian equities closed higher by 482.97 basis points, with market capitalization recording a gain of 264.29 billion naira. The total volume traded advanced by 6.11% to close at 984.19 million, valued at 11.16 billion naira and traded in 12,976 deals. FCMB was the most traded stock by volume with 106.81 million naira, while Fidelity Bank was the most traded stock by value with 1.31 billion naira units traded. In all, the market recorded 47 gainers, 22 losers, and 53 unchanged. And for global stocks, European stocks close higher, while China leads losses in Asia as investors have said Fed minutes. Let's take a look at the numbers. And that is Business News. Network News continues with Cyril. It's nice doing business with you.
Thank you, Benny. Nice doing business with you too. Now, the Bauchi State Government has expressed readiness to collaborate with the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, to ensure the prosecution of child traffickers in the state. Governor Bala Mohammed stated this while formally receiving the 7 children who were abducted from Bauchi after their return from Kano State. Awal Abdullahi reports.
The victims, who are children between the ages of 3 to 7, were adopted in Bauchi State from 2016 to 2023.
When they were in Kano, there is no confessional statement as to the acts of each of them. But I thank God Almighty, when we came in here, we used all what we could so that there will be self-confessions of all these things, because there is no way they can get out of it. And I am assuring you that all of them have confessed to the crime.
We met Abner Samuel in his residence, where he took us to Kefi Clinic 2016. So from there he gave her a day-old child of 7 months. Then we now asked him how much is the adoption money for the adoption. He now said 300,000. Then
we did not take them to any place. See the people that take care of them, they will come and say, see the one they take care of. The one that I take care of them, I have presented all of them.
Governor Bala Mohammed, while stressing the need for parents to brace up to their responsibility of parental obligation, noted that his administration will continue to collaborate with relevant stakeholders in the fight against child trafficking and other criminal activities in the state.
We will give the police and other security agencies the required tools and support to do it. NAPTIP should be able to work very hard because this state has shown that it is the center of the syndicate.
The governor directed the State Ministry of Women Affairs and Child Development to enroll the children into school and made a donation of 1 million naira to each of the 7 victims. In Bauchi, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Oil, Senator Heineken Lukobiri, says there's still hope that the revoked license for the Atala oil field belonging to Bayelsa State will be returned to the state. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Diri of Bayelsa State, Daniel Alabra, says Senator Lukobiri disclosed this when he visited the governor in Yanugwa, where he expressed regrets that the Atala oil field, a common patrimony of the state, was taken away, promising to ensure its return to Bayelsa. Responding, Governor Diri appreciated President Bola Tinubu for appointing a worthy son of Bayelsa as Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. He gave an assurance of Bayelsa's preparedness to partner with the federal government to check oil theft and illegal bunkering. Time for...
With the arrival of 3 more players, Francis Uzo, Sadiq Umar and Alhassan Yusuf, on Thursday to the camp of the Super Eagles in Dubai, it is now left for the current African best Victor Osimhen's arrival to make a full complement of the invited 25-man squad by Jose Peseiro. The Eagles are currently camping in Dubai till January 9th and are expected to play 2 warm-up games ahead of the African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire, where they are drawn in Group A against hosts Cote d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau. Nigeria is expected to start a campaign in Abidjan on January 14 against Equatorial Guinea. Meanwhile, the Confederation of African Football has announced the prize money for the 2023 African Cup of Nations, which is the 40% increase of the previous edition. The winner of this edition is expected to go away with $7 million, as the runner-up get $4 million. Semi-finalists team are to get $2.5 million, while the quarter-finalists get $1.3 million. To badminton, as the president of the Badminton Federation, Francis Obi, says, the remarkable achievements recorded by the Federation in 2023, we saw them almost qualifying for a back-to-back appearance at the Olympics, has been attributed to clear-cut vision despite the challenges of funding.
I mean, you can't go for competitions to qualify if there is no money. So that is a challenge that is being faced across all sporting federations who hope to qualify for the Olympics in Paris. So, I mean, the problem has always been there. The challenge has always been. It's not new. It's how much effort that is put in to try to address it that has made the difference from every Olympic to the other.
Now the weather prospects across the country.
To our viewers, the northern parts of the country is expected to be in dust haze condition by Friday, leaving the north central in dry, sunny and hazy atmosphere. Patches of cloud with hazy atmosphere is expected over the southern region, with prospect of afternoon to evening thunderstorms to parts of Lagos, Ogun, southern Ondo, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers and Edo State. The air quality is still unhealthy over the north and the north central cities. Therefore, residents of those regions should take necessary precaution. I'm Safia Sanyinusa. Thank you for watching.
That concludes Network News Tonight. I'm Cyril Stover. Good night.